What's good, YouTube? So today I'm bringing you an updated version of my Invoked Blue Eyes deck profile. I'm going to be going over some testing in the end and then just kind of going over, I've been getting a lot of comments regarding side decking, what exactly to side deck, what exactly do I side deck. I've always said that I feel like side decking is very locals dependent, so everyone's side deck is going to look different. If you're going based purely off of the videos you guys see on YouTube, top 32, top 16, top 8, top 4 deck profiles you see at the YCSs, a lot of those are strictly for like the tier 1, tier 0 deck profiles, which I would say a majority of us are not playing against. I'm sure everyone's locals is different. So some are more competitive than others. Mine specifically has like maybe a few people that are running the exact decks that they see in usually the top cuts in YCSs. However, a big chunk of them are either pet decks or budget or just rogue decks. So again, it's very different. I am going to just show you options, different tech options, tech choices that you can run. With that in mind, let's just get straight into the deck profile. So we're running the typical blue eye stuff. None of this is really changing anytime soon. This is the budget version, so there's no Primite cards in this profile. Very standard blue eye stuff. Then of course the Invoke package, only one invocation. That's something I do not plan to change. What I did change is I did up the magical meltdowns to 3 just because we have 6 ways to go into Alistair, 7 if you count terraforming. And again, terraforming I feel is mandatory in this deck because when your link 1 gets negated and you're unable to get into Mausoleum, terraforming is a good second option. Then we got some consistency cards, just in case we do get stopped. Then a bunch of hand traps. Did also cut down the Effect Veiler. I feel like he's just a very weak hand trap. If you don't have one of these, then definitely max out on Effect Veiler. Aside from cards like Drone Lockbird and Nib and Ash, I feel like Effect Veiler is good. Then of course, Infinite Impermanence, I feel like is just a better Veiler. And then plus with our Tyrant Dragon, we were able to get Infinite Impermanence back if we are going second, and we already used it during our turn 1. So again, these are very fluid. You guys play what you want, honestly. Hand traps, again, very locals dependent. It depends who you're playing against. But if you guys can't afford any one of these, I feel like Ghost Mourner is another good one. Ghost Bow is definitely, we're going to go into Ghost Bow when I do go over the side deck options, or just go ahead and max out on Effect Veiler, or if you're playing the old Charmies, definitely throw those in as well. Then for the extra deck, we're running 2 Mechabas, 1 Typhon. We have the Crimson Dragon package. Still got Cypher, Divine Dragon in here. I just personally like this card. I feel like it really allows the deck ceiling to go a lot higher. Yeah, it loses to Nib, but then again, what decks don't really these days that aren't Malice or Mitsurugi? The access code and line are definitely the more cuttable cards in the deck. I feel like if you want to add in any other cards you guys are thinking of. But for now, I just have line and access code just because it can help finish games. But yeah, that's about it. So now in regards to side decking, I have cards like Dark Ruler No More, Chaos Hunter, Artifact Lancia, Ghost Spell, Phantasme, going first card, Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike, and of course back row hate, like Harpy's Feather Duster and Lightning Storm. So I feel any variation of 3, you can do 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, any variation of these 2 specifically for Malice. With Malice being such a strong deck, I feel like you have to run a lot of Malice hate. Phantasme as well is definitely good against Malice. Going first cards, 3 Solemn Judgment, 3 Solemn Strike. I forgot what the other Solemn one is. The one that where you lose 2,000 life points. I did order a playset of those as well. I do have them, however, I have so many Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I feel like sometimes it's just easier to spend the $2 than to go looking for them. Solemn Warning, that's the one, Solemn Warning. So I am thinking of using Solemn Warning as well, just because it's so strong against like the Mitsurugi deck, just using it against Mitsurugi Ritual, or any like powerful spell card, definitely strong against them. And of course, typical back row stuff. And then Ghost Spell, just like a poor man's version of the Dominus card. I'm really not interested in spending $300 for a playset of a non-engine card. So I feel like Ghost Spell is the next best option. Then Dark Ruler No More, just going against those big boards that you can't really deal with. Pretty much this is what my side decks do look like. Typically have 3 of any 5 of these options. And again, Solemn Warning would also be added to this, as well as the card Sales Ban. Again, that is a card I do have a few of, however, I would have to look for them. But Sales Ban is great against Mitsurugi Raizio. You call their ritual monster that nukes the field, or you can even call Raizio Detonator, and pretty much stop them from nuking your field, stop them from special summoning the card, Just really strong cards. So I feel like Salesman is a great 3 of as well. If you don't want to play going first cards, if you're running a deck that already has a lot of engine, then definitely you don't have to play the solemn cards and just go straight into pure going second cards like hand traps. But yeah, so this is what my side decking options usually look like. So I'm gonna shuffle the deck up a little bit and go into a quick test hand. Just showing you guys again what the deck can do, what you can expect if you were running this specific version of the deck. All right, let's see what we got. So we got Wishes for Eyes of Blue, Sage, Called by the Grave, Terraforming, and Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. Okay, so it's actually really good going first hand. If we were going second, not so great. Roar is probably the only card we wouldn't want to draw. But aside from that, everything else is looking really good, and especially going first. And for test hand, I can't really ask for much more. We have a way into our Alistair engine and obviously the Blue Eyes 1-card starters. So I think the first thing we would do is just go ahead and activate Terraforming. Go ahead and grab us our Magical Meltdown. Then we can just go ahead, activate Magical Meltdown. That's gonna grab us our Alistair, the Invoker. So then we can normal summon Alistair, grab our Invocation from the deck. Here, go ahead, link off, get our Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirit's gonna go ahead and grab us our Mausoleum. Go ahead, activate Mausoleum, targeting our Spirit, setting our Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck to the graveyard. That way we can go ahead and bounce our Spirit, special summoning our Blue Eyes, and we can activate Invocation, banishing these two to special summon our Invoked Mechaba. And then we can go ahead, put Invocation back into the deck, add Alistair back to our hand. We're back with 5 cards. We have a Monster Negate / Banish now with Invoked Mechaba there. Can go ahead from here, let's just go ahead, do Sage with Eyes of Blue. Sage is gonna grab us our Maiden of White. And go ahead, discard Maiden of White to get our True Light on board. So as of right now, the only thing True Light can get us is either a Wishes for Eyes of Blue or the Trap. So you have to be mindful of that, because if you haven't activated Wishes for Eyes of Blue, you have to make sure that there's another Blue Eyes spell or trap card in the deck that you can use, because you cannot just add the level 1 Light Tuner. It has to be a level 1 Light Tuner and the spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon. So since we drew the Roar of the Blue Eyed Dragons, unfortunately, we're running close to running out of spell and traps in the deck. So speaking of, we'll just go ahead and activate Wishes for Eyes of Blue. We can just discard our Called by the Grave. So Wishes for Eyes of Blue can go ahead and grab us our Majesty of White Dragons and an Effect Veiler. Now we can go ahead, banish our Wishes for Eyes of Blue, attaching our Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to our Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then we can use these two going into our Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now we can go ahead and use Roar of the Blue Eyed Dragons, special summoning our second Blue Eyes White Dragon, so thinning our deck of our bricks. That's gonna go ahead and activate our Maiden of White in the graveyard, special summoning herself out. So from here we can just go ahead and go into our second Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. If you want to take it a step further and not wait for your opponent's turn, you can just go ahead and bounce this out and go into your Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, and then bounce this one for your Crimson Dragon. From here, Crimson Dragon can target this, and then Crimson Dragon goes back into the extra deck, and we can summon our Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon. So we have 2 Omni Negates, Monster Negate / Banish because we have Alistair in hand, and we still have an Effect Veiler in hand. We can go ahead and set our Majesty of the White Dragons. So we have a double pop because we have 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons in the graveyard. We have the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in the graveyard as well for protection. Technically, actually, we haven't even used True Light. We could special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon right now if we wanted to, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and wait for the next turn. That way we would get the Maiden of White on the field as well, or just wait till the end of the turn to do that. Or even if you want, you can just go ahead and use True Light, thin your deck of the Wishes for Eyes of Blue. It's useless now because we don't have another Blue Eyes spell or trap, but it's better so that way we don't draw it. So we do that right now. So again, within our deck of bricks, we have Invoked Mechaba, which is, we can discard this and banish / negate a monster effect. We have Omni Negate, double pop. When we pass turn, our True Light's gonna bring this back, and then that's gonna bring our Maiden of White back. We added the Effect Veiler to hand, and again, these monsters are not destroyed at the end of the turn because Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon's effect. So the first time any of your cards are gonna be destroyed by battle or card effect, they are not destroyed. So very powerful effect. More than likely, no, if they did not stop you and you're able to get to this board, they're pretty much done. So as you can see, very budget deck. However, this board is extremely powerful. I feel The only card that isn't really budget is Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon. However, he is going down in price. So I believe he is no longer a $30 card. So as you can see, very powerful and board. So that wraps up the deck profile and the test hand. If you guys are interested in more Invoke stuff, or if you guys have any suggestions on what I can add, I know a lot of people do not like the Crimson Dragon package. So if you have any other suggestions regarding what I can maybe fill it up with, or if you guys do like the Crimson Dragon package, let me know. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.